Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Monday, September 2nd. Less than a little over 3 weeks away. I think 22 days away from Celtics training camp. We're getting there ever so slowly. Some guys are already starting to come back to Boston, but we're here. We're ready to roll, and I'm excited that the season's almost here. How you doing, Sam?
Doing great. Happy Labor Day belated to everybody. We're almost there. We've almost made it. Just the pilgrimage of sitting here twiddling our thumbs for 3 months is almost over. We're going to have real content to talk about. But in the meantime, we've got you covered. We'll still talk about all of the recent stuff. Lonnie Walker, like Jack mentioned, a couple guys are already back in. Joe Mazzulla is coming to see me. And then former Celtic going overseas and some NBA news. We'll keep you up to date with everything. We'll have a ton of fun. Rat list coming at you too. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment. If you hit the notification bell, you're not going to miss any of our pods or any other daily uploads. The pods are Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. The other stuff is every other day. So definitely stick around for that.
Yes, sir. We're ready to roll. Fantasy Football League is filling up, so if you'd like to get in, make sure to comment here, send us an email, get in contact with one of us on Twitter, and we'll add you to the league. I believe there are, let's see.
We should set a draft for Wednesday because the league, the NFL starts Thursday.
Draft will be Wednesday night. There are 5 spots left. I know Evan and Timo have commented. Both of you guys, if you're hearing this, I responded to your comment on YouTube. Just make sure to, comment again with your email and or Twitter, and I'll DM you the invite link.
We have
so after that.
I believe
we do. Oh, we do. We do. Yes, we'll find that. We'll get Timo his. Evan, we'll get you yours as well. After that, there'll be 3 left, and we'll figure it out from there. But yes, we'll be cooking there as well. Anyways, we can jump right in from there into Celtic stuff, starting with Mr. Lonnie Walker, who is the talk of the town, the only thing anybody in Celtics world can talk about right now, because, well, that's the only thing that is going on right now. However, might not be going on for much longer. The New York Times put out an article about the Lonnie Walker edition with Boston. However, in the article, it said might not be playing for the Celtics at the start of the season. They noted that Celtics are adding, sources say blah, 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 will be brought in on Exhibit 10, which will allow them to give him a bonus if he is waived. I'm told there's a chance Walker is waived after camp to keep Boston's 15th roster spot open going into the season. So that's according to New York Times. I know Brian Robb, shout out B-Rob of Mass Live, put out an article where he said he thinks the chances are probably around 30% that he makes the roster. I know I've written a bunch of articles about Lonnie Walker. I wrote one today that we can talk about after this initial point of a dream. It was called like one dream, one realistic, and one disaster player comp for Lonnie Walker in his potential tenure with the Celtics. Just basically looking at like the best and worst case scenarios. But just another point to level expectations that he might not be on the team heading into the season. There's a chance, and I think the ceiling is very high because I do think he's a talented player, but I also think with that high ceiling comes a pretty low floor. So I'm not sure. I am of the belief I don't think he'll be on the team heading into the season. Maybe that's the pessimist to me, but what do you think, Sam?
I feel like this is a strange move for them to pull if they weren't going to bring him in. Like, I think the storyline of them wanting him back in February at the trade deadline, or at least being interested, maybe not wanting him. If they wanted him, they probably would have just went and got him. They clearly weren't afraid to make trades at the deadline to bring in the fringe guys. But like, I don't know. I don't think they would come back and recircle to this if they weren't interested in having him around. I don't know if they want to even fill the 15th roster spot. Like that to me is like the thing I'm stuck on. The two of us spent all summer not really putting any weight into any 15th roster spot thoughts. We were like, why even talk about this? It's going to be nobody, or maybe it'll be one of the draftees. Anton Watson. Because they have to pay an unbelievable luxury tax if they sign anyone even to a minimum. So why bother? Then Lonnie Walker's name is in there, and it's somebody who people were actually excited about last season around the league. I understand he's got shortcomings and things like that, but it does feel like he could contribute in some spots. Probably would be close to this fee roll, in my opinion. So it's not going to be like a make or break decision, but at the beginning of September, you're just like, anything we have is a ton of fun to talk about. We're like, news. I screamed on the pod when I
You did scream. I will also say I do think there are some similarities we've seen in the past. I'm not saying it's the exact same, but like Wenyen Gabriel, we got very excited about what potential role he could play in the Celtics last season. Obviously, he didn't play quite as big of a role as Lonnie Walker did this past season, but when the Celtics did sign Wenyen Gabriel, he was also fresh off an impressive season of basketball. Like he had just played in 68 games for Lakers. He averaged 5-4, shot almost 60% from the field, played a big role in the playoffs for them. A few years ago when they made the trade, they had Chris Dunn, they got like Juan Hernangomez, they had all these players, and they're like, oh, look, how many of them will make the roster? And then they just waived everybody. So I'm not saying it's an impossibility that Walker makes the roster. I mean, like I said, we can go over my article where I wrote about the best and worst case scenario, and a realistic one in my eyes. I just don't know how much stock I'm putting in to Walker making the team. So my disaster player comp for him with the Celtics was just Jalen Noel, because I can see that comparisons, and that's probably the one I believe the most. It's just like he's a really good scorer. He clearly has that talent, but he's probably not the best fit on a roster that already has those types of guys, right? The reason Malik Monk worked, spoiler alert for the dream comparison, the reason Malik Monk worked so well in Sacramento is because they didn't really have that type of player. They had De'Aaron Fox, who was their lead ball handling guy, their scoring guy. They had Sabonis, who isn't the best scorer, but he sort of is an offensive organizer. And they didn't really have another ball handler / explosive scorer. Malik Monk, insert here. That's his role. That's his niche. He can play it very well. With the Celtics, you have such a well thought out and fleshed out game plan of Tatum and Brown are going to be the dominant scorers for the most part, but it's also a very spread the ball around type of thing. You don't really have room for like a ball dominant Lou Will type. Like that doesn't really fit in the way the Celtics play basketball necessarily. And it doesn't fit in the way a lot of teams are trying to play basketball, which is very either team oriented or star oriented. Like look at the Mavericks. You don't really have room for Malik Monk on the Mavericks because it is Luka ball. And that's just the way they decide to play. You don't really have room for Malik Monk on the Celtics because it's a team, basketball, which is the way they choose to play. You don't really have room for it on the Nuggets because Jokic is going to have the ball all the time, or Jamal Murray's going to have it when he doesn't. Like there's very small niches that are available for those guys. It's kind of why DeMar DeRozan doesn't really fit many places, because when you're that type of player, if you're not the best player, it's harder to find a role. It's like Russell Westbrook, right? When Russell Westbrook is your best player and he's on, you're probably going to be a playoff team. But it's hard to put him on a team with other players who also need the ball because that's just he's not as good of an off-ball player. So Jalen Noel is that for me. The realistic I said was kind of weird because it was hard for me to find an exact one. I said Dante Exum, and my thought process was if he can improve a little bit defensively, I think he can help there. But also like he could be an extra ball handler, but won't handle it much like Dante Exum. He can be a good spot up 3-point shooter at low volume, kind of like Dante Exum. So I kind of see that. And then the dream one is just Malik Monk. If everything works out, if he gets extra minutes because people get hurt or blah, 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 and he actually thrives. And then down the line, you're looking at him and you're like, oh, now we have this really good scorer off the bench. That can be sort of like the dream magic world. But I don't know how much I believe Lonnie Walker's ability to impact the scene. That doesn't mean I don't think he's a good player. I think he's a very good player. I just don't think the Celtics are the best place for him to be the type of player he is.
Well, when we talked about this before, I was like, would make a lot more sense for him to end up with a team just for like a projection standpoint, like Miami, like where they're like, oh,
Perfect
like
example.
probably going to be around the play in. Like he just has more room to be himself. No, with the Celtics, like, do I think it's impossible for Lonnie Walker to be a catch and shoot guy? No, I don't, which is why this is intriguing to me on some level. But at the same time, like, he really would benefit more from being on a mid-tier team. And it would be an opportunity to compete. It would be an opportunity to actually be his best self. Instead, he's going to be with the Celtics. And we talked about this last show because RJ sent a good email asking about, like, why do we think somebody like Lonnie Walker, who doesn't suck by any means, like, whether you think he fits with the Celtics or not is another story, but definitely doesn't suck. He's definitely an NBA player. Like, he's not a bum. The reason why is because of the new CBA, everybody's afraid to spend money. They don't want to give somebody like Lonnie Walker money. They don't want to give him a minimum. Why would they do that when they can just develop from within, keep guys under team control, and by doing that, you're open to far more loopholes to avoid having to give up guys, keeping your roster together. Like, guys of Lonnie Walker's caliber are going to get the shaft because teams are afraid now. And it sucks. And hopefully expansion helps them. I'm sure in a year we're going to be talking heavy about expansion because it's coming up. But for now, good luck.
Outside of the Heat, which I do think that's a great example because I do think they could always use more ball handling. I do think they have room for guys to grow. If I had to pick 3 teams that I think would be the best for Lonnie Walker, I think the Magic would be great. I don't think they have a lot of offense, and I think having an extra ball handler in there would be useful for them, and he can play off the ball too with the shooting. I think the Bucks, low-key, would be pretty good. Their offense was kind of weird last year. If you bring him off the bench, you can hopefully elevate him into a spot where he's comfortable off the ball with Giannis with his shooting, but also able of taking over. And then, ironically, the Spurs. I think he'd be pretty good on the Spurs if you gave him the little bit of ball handling opportunities off the bench. But just with the Celtics, with how deep the roster is, with how much, team ball they play, I just question whether or not it's going to be the best, especially how, I don't think this is the right phrasing, but how predicated defense is. That's not the right phrasing, but you need to be a good defender for the most part to play in the Celtics rotation. Like, it is almost essential outside of very small, exceptions being Pritchard and Hauser, and even those guys have shown far more capable than most people expected on the defensive end. If you're not capable of one-on-one guarding players for stretches and Joe Mazzulla being okay with it, you're not going to play. And I don't know how much Lonnie Walker fits into that. And I also think it's a bit of a red flag that you have all the tools to be a good defender and you're still not viewed as a solid defender. Like, that is like what's going on here? Got to put the pieces together type thing. But I know I've gotten a lot of shit for my Lonnie Walker takes. It's made it to Twitter. Somebody used my Jalen Noel example on Twitter to defend their argument in a good way, at least. So I was like, oh, cool. I'm glad I'm hitting some points there a little bit. But I don't know. What do you think? If you had to put a percent, in your opinion, on Lonnie Walker making the 15-man, what is your thoughts?
It's hard for me to give a percentage because I don't think any of the factors actually have to do with Lonnie Walker. Like, he as a player really isn't like, I mean, I suppose like he could be better, but I think if the Celtics elect not to keep him, it's not because he's not good. It's because they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay luxury tax any further.
That's a big part of it.
I think it's 60%. Like, I just don't think they would have, like, to say what I said before, like, yeah, I don't think they would have fucking circled back to a guy that they wanted at the deadline to go re-meet with him in the late summer.
The other argument to that is, and I meant to bring this up, there's a chance, like, we don't know exactly how everything played out. What if they chose Springer over Lonnie Walker?
And they might have. That's a fair ask.
So maybe they could have gotten him, but they're like, you know what, we can get either of these guys. Let's go get Springer instead because we like his defense a little more. We like the ball handling, and we believe we can turn the shot around. He's younger versus, I feel like it's, and you always make this point, I feel like it is easier to teach shooting than to teach defense.
I agree.
And so working on, a defender who isn't the best shooter like Springer might be easier than working on a shooter / scorer who isn't as good at defense. And I've said it a million times, especially now. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's so athletic." The most overrated thing in basketball. That's gonna be my go-to point to the day I die. I think athleticism is the most overrated thing ever. It's great when you have it, but you can't only have it like that. That can't be like one of your top 3.
You only have it, you go play football.
Exactly. Yeah. Not even. Go play, again, I don't know, MMA. Go do MMA.
No, football, I'm telling you. You're fast, they throw you out there.
I guess, yeah. You gotta at least be able to catch the ball, though. But anyways, PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports, and unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become a part of the PrizePicks community today. Preseason football is underway, but you can also pick more or less on 2024 season stats on PrizePicks. Will Patrick Mahomes throw for more or less than 4,300 yards? Will CJ Stroud's sophomore season result in more or less than 4,150 yards? Enter your season picks before week 1 kicks off. PrizePicks is available in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Me and Sam use PrizePicks all season long during the Celtics playoff run, especially in the finals, Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Semifinals, and the first round. We were picking more or less on Tatum dunks, on Drew Holiday threes, and always pick the less on the opposing star just to add some spice to the game. Download the PrizePicks apps today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks, run your game. mentioned at the start of the pod, some players are trickling back into Boston. Celtics have begun posting pictures of players back at the Auerbach Center to their Twitter and Instagram. Peyton Pritchard was posted at the Auerbach Center. Xavier Tillman was there on the Instagram. JD Davison was pictured in the weight room. Noah had a list of players she saw on Twitter. She said Tillman, Hauser, Pritchard, Jordan Walsh, Neemias Queta, Baylor Sharman, and Anton Watson apparently all been getting some work in this week. Good group. And all of them are the type of guys who could potentially play roles if things break their way and if they work hard enough. So I'm excited. I'm happy. Stuff starting to come around, starting to trickle towards basketball season again. It feels good. I'm so pumped up to watch basketball, and we'll get to it later in the show. But my TikTok has been filled with basketball edits, and we're just like, I need it. I need the season to be back. I'm over the off season officially. It's done. I'm no more.
Really, you're over the off season.
Well, at least in it's like, oh, free agency, we have a little entertainment here, and then even after all of it's over, you're like, all right, now I can, I just chill. I'll play video games, I'll watch some YouTube. But I don't want that anymore. I want to work again.
It's just at the point where I don't feel motivated anymore. Like right now,
yes,
because it's
exactly.
like there's nothing new. Like I'm not gonna I don't like. I mean, neither one of us likes putting slop out there. Like we just don't. It's not really what.
No.
I mean, I know we give you a video every day, but we try and make it fun. If it's not really worth the content. Like we try and give you something. We don't want you to just click to click. So
yeah,
it's a painful time of year for us, both in a video sense and also a writing sense. It sucks. We're talking about the guys back at the Auerbach Center. Yeah, it's exciting to see people back for sure. And it's good to see the guys that are going to be competing for minutes already in early, getting shots up, getting their games sharp so they're ready to go when training camp starts, when the preseason starts, when we're going to get our first real look at them after the summer. Somebody like Tillman, who spent half the season here and really never got much of a chance to shine. Preseason could be your first real extended look. I know there was the few handful of games at the end of the season when they were just fucking around and he made a game winner. But he's somebody I'm excited for. Of course, I'm excited to watch Springer. That's my guy. I just think he's a player that could fit into a team and really be impactful, especially on defense. He brings good energy. They were putting him into games sporadically last season just to give them a little boost every once in a while. So preseason Springer is going to be a ton of fun to watch for me. And I mean, anytime you get to see Pritchard with real control of a game, it's a spectacle.
I will say you've infected me. I'm very excited for Springer. I'm very
he's just got good tools to be a rotation player.
Yes, I don't want to say something stupid, but if the shot comes around, that is legitimately the way people think, oh, maybe Xavier Tillman can take over some of Al's minutes. It is, oh my God, if he can shoot the three consistently and play that level of defense, they've just found another guy who can play the Derek White, Drew Holiday role at it. Obviously a C tier pace because those guys are all-star caliber. But the fact that you found somebody with a similar skill set is Brad Stevens' amazing masterclass.
Well, he's also capable of being a creator, a distributor. He played one summer league game, so take it with a grain of salt. But in that game, he had 6 assists, I think, and no turnovers, and he was the entire engine of that team. He was the only one that you could give the ball to and be like, go get a bucket. Yeah. He had it going. He was getting to the rim. He was scoring on all 3 levels. He has that pull-up at the free throw line in the half.
Yeah.
I love the way he plays. He's somebody you should maybe down the line trust to take some bench minutes. I just don't know if the timeline's going to work out for him with the Celtics because Pritchard has proven he's solid in that role, and you don't really need to move off of Pritchard just yet. But Springer is slightly different than Pritchard in the sense that he's like a bulldog, and he's built like a fucking linebacker.
He's built like Drew Holiday. No, he's not.
No. I was watching college football on Saturday, and we had the Ohio State Akron game on, and Akron was on their 3rd quarterback. I shit you not, this guy was built like me. I was like, he's gonna die. Playing against 5-star linebackers from Ohio State. Dudes out there as a punishment. It's Impractical Jokers. All right, go on.
Poor guy. No, I'm very excited for Jaden Springer. If that shot comes around, you've got a real good player. And even if it's not perfect, even if he's a 34% shooter, you still got a guy who you can play in the rotation down the line.
Sounds like Marcus. That mid-range shot is actually clean though. He looks very comfortable shooting it. We talked a lot about O'Shea last year, and it was a lot of me pushing it because I was like, I just believe in guys like learning how to shoot. But the thing about O'Shea, and I hope he finds a spot on the team, I think he can help somebody, much like Lonnie Walker. But like his shot form isn't quite there, and it's something that you pointed out many times, having gone early and watched the warm-ups and just been like, huh, I don't really know how this works out. Like if you watch Springer, it's not really the same case. Like
No, he's got.
I've been early a couple
It's
times,
not
and
bad.
he looks pretty comfortable taking his jumpers.
It's not bad. Yeah, no, he's all right. It's definitely not like you don't look at it and be like, oh yeah, it's a good shot. Like Xavier Tillman, I'm like, that's a good shot for him. Jaden Springer's like, we can work with it. It's sort of my reaction to, which is fine. It's much better than
3 beers
O'Shea,
deep.
but
Yeah, Jaden Springer's
Yeah,
jump shot's okay.
we can make with that. We can
Yeah.
get around with that. Anyways, next thing, Joe Mazzulla is headed to Rhode Island to the State House to
Hell
bring the
yes.
Larry O'Brien Trophy down to Sam. Just bringing it on a little tour of everything, and yeah, he's gonna get cooking down there in Rhode Island, his home state.
I'm devastated I have to work. I would go. I was telling Jack I probably could get myself there. I would
Yeah.
love to be there. Like it is the ultimate Sam event. It's Rhode Island, it's Celtics, it's winning. It would be awesome. I
have a
would
good
love
time.
to be there. I would ask if anyone's going. I think it's like a press event. I don't think you can actually just show up, so don't do that.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. I don't think they're just having maybe they are just having the public.
Well, I was wondering
don't
if he was just gonna. I don't know what the setup is, but I was picturing it as like he's gonna stand
It'll
outside.
probably be a
and give
media
speech.
opportunity for like the governor to be like, look at the trophy.
I see.
But like, I would be like, what is the first thing you want to do here? Like outside of seeing family, like what is the most Rhode Island thing you are pumped to do? Because you know he's going to hang out for a little bit. He's not going to go right home.
Yeah, I do wonder. He'll probably bring it to Rain One. That just makes the most
where?
sense. Like the Rain One gym.
Rain-Own gym. Yeah.
Oh, Rain-Own. I thought it was Rain One.
Yeah.
Oops.
He may
I would
go to the
guess.
rec
Yeah.
center.
True.
It's
He
named
might go to the
after
rec
his dad,
center.
I believe.
Named after his dad. Probably Bishop Hendricken. Think he'll take it to the high school.
Right down the street. I don't know.
Yeah. That's right down the street from the rec center.
It's right down the street from my house.
Oh. Yes. I was like, I've driven on that street.
Probably like
I don't
a
think
mile
it's
away.
there.
I could be there in
Okay.
8 minutes by foot, if that.
All right. But yeah, he's bringing it to Rhode Island. Shout out Joe. Next thing, former Celtic Evan Fournier retiring from. Actually, not retiring from the NBA, leaving the NBA. Sorry,
He's going home.
I'm used to Kemba. He's going back to Olympiacos. He's not going to France. He's going.
He's
to
going
Greece.
to Europe.
Yeah,
Europe is technically home.
I
Just
suppose.
on a broader sense.
If you'd like to broaden it to that point. But he is going to Olympiacos on a 2-year deal for worth over $4 million. Wow. And then Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett showed him some love on their podcast, Kevin's podcast, their podcast. I'll play the video here so you guys can take a look at what they had to say about Mr. Fournier.
Motherfucker, this is like 6 times or some shit.
Evan Fournier, who he's in the league, but like
Evan
Hits
Fournier.
the ground running.
Listen, man. Evan, shout to Evan Fournier,
Schroeder, too.
Because Fournier
raised the
knows
level.
this how you got to play against the Americans. This how we got to be, and we can't be in here sympathetic and trying to hold. Man, Evan Fournier, he got the formula. He just ran out of time, bro. He actually thought, man, we could beat the Americans. I got Young Wimby, I got Woo. Man, France had too much
that's
other
what
shit.
I'm telling you.
But
That's
guess what?
gonna be
4
an
years
issue
later,
for
they're
you.
not going to be there. Fournier, is Fournier going to play for 4 years? He'll probably play.
Lord, we for the last few drafts has no Americans at the top.
These dudes are
It's like
fucking
6 times.
annihilated.
And then Fournier posted this, him in a in a KG jersey all those years ago, and then this clip. Which
So I
know
don't
what it is.
anticipate you liking me. I don't anticipate you trying to be my friend because I'm not trying to be your friend. So I
Fournier just posted that and
KG.
said, "Thank you for being an inspiration since day one, KG." Shout out Fournier though, man. Obviously his tenure with the Celtics didn't exactly work out. I remember we went over this, and his stats were like he actually played a lot better than a lot of people remember.
Including me.
Yeah, he shot in his 1 year with the Celtics, or half year, his 16 games, 13 points, 3.3 rebounds, 3.1 assists, shot 45 from the field and 46 from three. And then in the playoffs, 43-43 splits with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists. It's actually really good. He's actually just a really good role player. It just never sort of lived up to the hype. And then I guess they just caught him at the very end of his basketball career because he was never really the same after that. He had one pretty
Well, he
solid
just never
year.
got to. He had the incredible debut against the Celtics. With the
Yeah,
Knicks.
he was good that year. He was good that year in New York.
And then
but-
Tibbs was like, "Hey, go fuck yourself."
Yeah, well, he played 30 minutes a game that season in New York. 14 points, 2.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 42 from the field, not as good. 39 from the field on 7.7 attempts, not bad. But then after that, he played little to no minutes in the NBA for the next 2 seasons. And now he's going to play at Olympiacos. So I saw a TikTok today from I forget. I want to get the name because I know who it is, and I don't want to it's not just like some random TikToker that I don't want to not give credit to. I thought it was funny. It was I didn't like it. Daniel Lebowski or something like that. Apologies if I got the name wrong, but he does like skits or whatever. He used to write for Celtics blog. But he made a TikTok and it was like Evan 48, like NBA teams talking to 48. Evan, we'll give you a contract. We'll give you minutes in our rotation. Right? Like we'll legitimately play you. Oh yeah, Daniel Lebowski will legitimately play you. But all you have to do is try on defense for just like half the shot clock and just turn. It just like pans to M40. She goes, "I'm out. I'm gone. I'm not doing that shit. See you later." But yeah, shout out Fournier, man. He was a damn good player. I remember there was a lot of hype when they got him for nothing in Boston, and now it kind of makes sense why they got him for nothing. But shout out Evan Fournier regardless.
It was half a season, and it was a weird season. He never really got a chance to play in front of the fans.
Not even
and
half the
also,
season. 16 games.
They just had like the worst city editions ever. It was the Earth Day shitty fucking recycling
ones are
jerseys.
Celtics.
They were the ones
I
that were
remember those.
dark green with neon letters.
Oh, ew, yeah. Those.
Yeah.
I remember that era where they just tried different colors, where they just kept the same jersey, but it was like
someone greenlit those jerseys. Can you believe
yeah, it was like
Adam
yellow and
Silver will pay.
green and yellow. They just kept trying random colors, and those never worked. Not a fan. Anyways, let's go to the email here. See what y'all had to say. Reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll read your emails on the show. Catch up with us. We'd appreciate you very much. If you sent us an email, thank you for staying in touch with us. Again, hbtcpod@gmail.com. A few from RJ today. Let's check out what the man, the myth, the legend has to say. First up, auditions for Maine or 25-26. Morning, folks. What's Brad up to now? It's not like there's any drama in who the top 11 spots are going to. 12, if you think Springer is the load management guard who slides up when Drew and Derek rest. I'm confident. So what do you think the future holds for that deep end of bench guys, or who or what are they competing against in the upcoming camp? Do you think, and where do you think they'll be within the Celtic organization 2 years from now? That's all. Be well, RJ. Ooh, that's a good question. Let's go player by player quickly. We don't have to spend forever on this, but so Drew Peterson, 2 years from now.
Probably not with the Celtics. I could see him
agree.
somewhere else. He just has to put on some muscle. He's not quite there yet.
I agree. I think somewhere else. JD Davison, I think elsewhere, unfortunately. I just don't think it'll happen. Anton Watson, I think will be on a standard contract.
He'll be with the
Celtics. I like him a lot.
Hopefully.
Baylor Shireman, same
Hopefully
thing.
with the Celtics.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Jordan Walsh.
He might be somewhere else.
I think he might be somewhere else. I don't know if he'll stick.
Recency bias big from both of us, just being like summer league.
I don't know, man. Listen,
my eyes.
Not even the summer league, just the way he's just almost too youthful for this Celtics team. Like he's not mature enough, and that's fine because he's 19, right? But it almost feels like you need to be in a space where you can make those mistakes, where you can be that type of player. And I don't know if that's Boston. Who am I forgetting?
We already kind of talked on Springer.
I think Kada and Tillman will definitely be with the Celtics. Actually, I think Tillman definitely will be. Kada and Cornette, I'm not sure about. I don't know. 2 years from now.
I'd like it if Luke was here. I also, I'm now thinking about it. Like, there's a weird ticker, I think, on Luke's time of being effective.
Why?
I just think, I mean, he's not very old. What is he, 27, 28?
Older. He's almost 30.
Okay.
I think.
Well-
Let me double check. Cornette is 29. Yeah, he turned 29 on the 15th of July.
Okay,
So he's
so
only
Luke
30.
Cornett just turned 29. He's in his physical peak, and he is the third, fourth guy on this big man rotation. How much time do we really think he has left? Not to
I
say
don't-
he's not effective. I'm a fan of his.
I don't think Luke would be around in 2 years because of his play. I think he would be around in 2 years because of his vibes, genuinely, because everyone loves him.
Just keep it.
I'm
around.
so serious. Yes. No, I'm 100% serious. I also had somebody for an article I'm working on tell me that Luke Cornett was the Kristaps Porzingis of Chicago when he was there, and I really like that a lot. Like said he should have been starting, said he should have been like really good, can shoot threes, all this stuff. Like I've always followed like so unbelievably seriously all in.
Who said
It
this?
made me really happy. A guy I talked to for a story I'm
Oh,
writing.
nice.
Very fun. It was very cool. I think he'll be here for the vibes. Kada, I think is 70-30 will be here, and the 30 is if he just doesn't put the pieces together. But I'm confident he will. But if he doesn't, then I just don't think he'll be here.
Have
'Cause
you
I think
taken an
watching-
upswing on Kada?
I've always liked Kata's
Mm.
upside. I was never down on Kata. I was down on Kata last year. The people were saying Kata should be playing over Luke last year. He just wasn't as good as Luke Cornett. A year of development, another year of training with the Celtics, another year of getting better. If he can position himself better, I think Kata has the clear potential to be better than Luke Cornett, right? It's just a matter of can the downs of Kata be outweighed by the ups? And I think that's where you have to get to.
Honestly, if they let fucking Cornett fly, maybe he would be better. If they just let him shoot threes, he might be like sneakily effective. He's a good player. He's nothing but solid. 100% from three last year. Don't worry about it.
He's a good
Made the
shooter.
one.
He's a
They
good
only
shooter.
lost by $1 billion in the game he made the three. But nonetheless, he's somebody who throughout his NBA career has shown the ability to knock him down. I'm surprised that the Celtics haven't like tried to open the door on that, especially the way they love threes. Maybe they feel like it'll just take away his effectiveness down low. I don't know.
I
Because he's
hope
great as a
he-
roll man, great as a lob threat.
The NFL season is almost here, and as much as we love Celtics basketball here at How About Them Celtics, I love watching Pats games in person. I saw the Chiefs game this past year. They kept it close for some of the game, but then Taylor Swift took over the Jumbotron, and the Chiefs ended up winning that one. But make sure you are ready to use Game Time. Game Time is the best place to find your tickets for all live sporting events, concerts, everything like that. I saw Noah Khan in concert recently too, and you know Game Time is the place to be. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. You look at some of the games on Game Time right now, and there's plenty of good stuff. The Diamondbacks are getting ready to play the Red Sox soon. The Red Sox are gearing up for a potential playoff push. Hopefully they can get out of the wild card. And make sure that you have Game Time to get your tickets for all of those. I love the fact that you can filter out fees, or filter in fees, I should say, so you know the exact price you are paying on Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest priced, guaranteed. Maybe it's because they want him down there rebounding more, because he's a pretty good offensive rebounder.
Yeah. Just shut up and get the rebound.
I don't know. I hope he's right. I love Luke. I don't think we forgot anybody, and if we did, I'm sorry. But there we go.
Springer hopefully still here.
Yeah, I think Springer's will be here. Different coaches challenge. Hey, folks, time for some trivia. Ooh, this time about the guys who have coached the Celtics. How many head coaches have the Celtics have? No idea. Sam?
I think they have like 9. Mazzulla, Ime, Brad, Doc, Jim O'Brien,
Casey Jones.
Tino, ML Carr. No, it's more than 9.
Did Casey coach? No, am I crazy?
Casey coached. I'm
Mhm.
trying to go in order.
Oh.
Chris Ford was the coach. I don't know when. I'm gonna say 11.
Okay.
Eh,
We'll go for
13. 13.
okay.
Final
We'll go with
answer,
13 for
13.
that. How many head coaches did the Celtics have before Red Auerbach? I'm not going to know the answers to any of these, Sam. So you tell me, and don't think
Maybe
too long.
1, 2.
We'll go 2. We'll go 2. How many former Celtics have coached the team? Can you name them? Bill Russell,
Bill Russell,
Casey Jones,
Tommy,
Casey.
ML Carr.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just 4, right?
There's another one in there.
I think that's 4.
If Chris Ford was the coach, then that's 4 of them.
Well, I said
Or
Casey
5.
Jones. Yeah, I said that's crazy. I said it all those times. You just never counted it as you were thinking. Which 4 coaches started as mid-year replacements?
Jim O'Brien.
Okay.
Not Joe. Mid-year
No.
replacements.
Yeah, I have no idea the answers to this question.
Not
I'm just
Bach.
I'm not gonna know. So I'm gonna bow out respectfully early, and
Not Brad.
I'll put Jim O and then blank for that one. Which
Yeah,
Celtics head coach had the best career winning percentage? Who had the worst? Joe has the best
Joe.
right now. Joe has the best.
Worst
Who has the
ML
worst?
Carr.
All right. Next one is how many Celtics coaches have had their number retired? The answer is in the
2.
next email.
3.
2 coaches. 3. Okay, 3.
4. I went
4.
Red, then Russell, then Casey, then Tommy.
Okay. How many coaches the Celtics had? 19. Sam, you're washed.
5. Dave Cowens, I think, was the another coach.
All right. Well, they've had 19 head coaches, so you're washed. How many head coaches they have before Red Auerbach? 2, correct. John Russell and Alvin Julian. Didn't know those were people. How many former Celtics have coached the team? Can you name them? 5. We got that right. Heinsohn, Sanders, Casey, Chris Ford, ML Carr. If you included Bill Russell or Dave Cowens, they were player coaches only. Come on, that counts. You kidding? Which 4 coaches started as mid-year replacements? Satch Sanders, Dave Cowens, Jim O'Brien, John Carroll.
John Carroll, I forgot about it.
All right. How many Celtics have had their number retired? Oh, best career winning percentage and the worst. Casey Jones, number 1. ML Carr, 2nd. Joe's better than
I don't know if
that.
that's correct.
I'm pretty sure Joe has a better winning percentage.
Pull it up.
Joe Mazzulla career winning percentage 72.9. No, okay. Casey's higher. Wow. That is crazy. Okay. Oh, wait. No. Not including playoffs. Joe's in just the regular season. He is, come on, 121 and 43. So that is 164 divided by 121. That is, oh God, I did it wrong. 121 divided by 164. 73%. No, Casey still won. Wow. Okay. That's kind of surprising to me. And then last one, how many Celtics had the number retired? 6, not 5. Bill Russell, Tommy Heinsohn, Satch Sanders, Dave Cowens.
Satch I was not aware of.
Forgot about Satch. All right. Thank you again, RJ. Last email. New season, new vibe. Morning, folks. As we start the month, that will give us actual Celtics basketball again. I thought it might be good to look back from a fan perspective at the 23-24 season. This time last year, I was just getting to know Jack and Sam's Labor of Love podcast. Everyone was looking at O'Shea Brissett as a possible key contributor for the Celtics upcoming season, alongside questions about Porzingis' health. You two spent more time encouraging people to subscribe to the channel than you did second-guessing Brad on his not firing Mazzulla. Heck, y'all even encouraged me to email you on a regular basis. Thank you for doing so. The season was fun for me because the podcast brought me into contact with fans like Rui, Phillip, Joey Spatulas, and our Latvian desk chief, Pete. You also introduced me to other Celtics content creators that help me waste my free time or broaden my knowledge of basketball. Bobby K, Cam, and Noah are all reporters I follow now. Plus, thanks to you two, I got around to watching First on the Floor, which somehow led Shy retiring me to be the halftime entertainment for their playback. Hell yeah. With Jake Benvalis' booty. Shout out. And now it's the new season. What happened is just a part of us, but we get to look forward to the games in Dubai, learning how to spell Shireman correctly, and if we just gotten the hang of Mikhailu. 82 games of Drew and Scal show, more Mazzulla press conference bingo, and a ring ceremony. Happy September and be well. RJ, can you spell Mikhailu and Shireman without looking?
Shireman, yes. Mikhailu, no.
I see. How do you spell Shireman? Do Shireman off the dome.
SCHEIERMAN.
Yeah. I only know how to spell Mikhailuk because I wrote an article about him for Bannertown 5 years ago when he cooked the Celtics on the Pistons, and I learned how to spell it then.
MYKHAILIUK. K.
Yep. Good job. Correct. Fuck yeah. Very difficult last name. But shout out Svi. Anyways, thanks, Archie, for the emails. Reminders, always email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com, or read them on the pod. Moving over to the NBA here. Trae Young apparently didn't have that big of a trade market. And this was from Tim McMahon. Was this just like speculation, or was this a report? Because this sounds like they're just like saying
It was on the Hoop Collective.
Yeah, but like, were they reporting this, or he's just saying like, oh, he would have been somewhere else? Like, if, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's difference between.
I don't have an answer for you.
Okay.
I saw it on Reddit.
Okay. Tim McMahon basically saying if there was a market, he would have been traded. I get it. This goes back to the thing. Like, Trae Young is very clearly an amazing basketball player, right? He's so talented, great shooter, great playmaker, all this stuff. He's not a good defender. And for him to be at his best, he needs the ball in his hands. And if you're not the top of the top, Luka Doncic, James Harden, and even them haven't gotten it done so far, you're just not going to be able to contribute to a championship level basketball team. And I don't know if Trae Young is even as good as those guys, because he's an even worse defender. And so you need to have an extremely perfect infrastructure around him in order for him to succeed at the highest level. And Atlanta does not have that.
Nope. Good luck. Good luck, Atlanta. Trae Young, you mentioned like a couple different teams. Like, obviously we talked about the Spurs all summer, and it was like, oh, like Wemby would be the perfect back line for Trae Young, who is going to let everybody go through like a revolving door. Orlando's another team with heavy defensive talent that would make it worth having somebody like Trae Young. Aside from that, like, there's really just not that many teams in the league that would be like, oh, change your life. Like, even Miami. Miami's like,
that's my
having
favorite.
Bam, I suppose.
That's my favorite by far. I think they have enough defensive infrastructure and a good enough coach to scheme around Trae Young's weaknesses to the point where his offensive talents would be able to thrive, I think. Because, like, I mean, we saw Tyler Hero cook the Celtics in pick and roll with Bam for a game, right? Imagine they have Trae Young to run that pick and roll with Bam. Like, Tyler Hero is a fine player. Trae Young is a much better player than Tyler Hero. So I think that's probably my favorite if I had to pick a landing spot for him. I like San Antonio too, but I think they have a little more breathing room to not hit the panic button and trade for Trae Young, where they can like flush out a team with less holes, right? Like, they can find a point guard who can do that while also not being a defensive liability. And so I think they've got the time to figure that out and go from there. But
good luck to Atlanta this year.
Good luck to Atlanta this year. We'll see. Next thing, Paul George's dad is apparently very upset with the Clippers. Sam, would you like to tell me about this?
Yes, he was on the old podcast P show, and they were kind of talking about the exit. Like, Paul George's move to Philly this summer was the big story. It was probably the biggest offseason move aside from the Bridges trade. And when it happened, the two of us were talking, like, the reports are coming out. It's like, oh, like, he turned down an offer, turned down another offer, and like, they just did not give him the offer that he wanted. And Paul George's dad laid it out like this. I felt like they stabbed us in the back because I thought Paul did a whole lot for the team. I think he gave them 110%. And what he was asking, it wasn't a whole lot. Well, was it a whole lot or wasn't it a whole lot? Because if
I agree with Paul George's dad,
he's asking for the max.
Yeah.
That's actually the most he can ask for.
Yes, and I think he was right to ask for it. I think that's all his dad's saying. I think he was right to ask for the max, and then not giving to him was like whack. And I agree with the dad. I think the Clippers should have maxed him 100%. Not down my mind. Should have maxed him.
It's just like a strange situation to me. I think you're right, because I just think the Clippers are so far up the creek, and they're so they're committed to this pot of now Kawhi and James Harden, but before it was the three of them, all three of them on the decline in their careers. Whether or not that decline is steep or not, they're still over the mountaintop. They're still over the hill. You just let one of them walk for nothing, and it's like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think the phrasing here is just bad. Like, it wasn't a whole lot thing. I think he should have said it wasn't unreasonable, because I don't think it was unreasonable. I think asking for the max is what you're worth, right?
I agree.
So
I think the unreasonable tag would have been done this more.
I think he was just talking, and then it came out like that. But Yeah, I think the Clippers should have re-signed him. I think Paul George just had one of the best seasons in the last 5 years. Like, I think he's really good. Stayed healthy. Unlucky that Kawhi got hurt in the playoffs because you don't really know. I think they probably beat the Mavs if they're fully healthy.
Western Conference champion Mavs. Do you think so?
Yeah, Mavs were frauds. I think they'll be better next year for what it's worth, but I think they're frauds. But yeah, no, I think they should have re-signed him for sure. But anyways, next thing, Minnesota sports photo remake. Anthony Edwards and Justin Jefferson are apparently remaking the iconic photo. Randy Moss and Kevin Garnett. Excuse me, I'll pull it up here so you guys can see. But here's the original photo, and then here is them apparently remaking it. Kind of sick. I think it's kind of fire. I mean, those two are very clearly the best two. I think they're probably the best two athletes in Minnesota since Boston KG. And so to see them making, I just remaking old stuff, I think is cool, and so I thought that was a cool thing that they're going to do.
Sure.
Well, like if Jalen did the KG scream on the Jumbotron at Den, like he did for the upcoming season. You know what I'm saying? Like
it is definitely
old
sentimental
cool.
for Minnesota sports fans.
Yeah, I just think it's stuff like
cool.
that is dope. You're no fun, man. You suck. Fuck you. Yeah, anything that's
what do you want me to say?
Nothing.
This is the greatest. I actually think.
No, you're
I
right.
think they
Whatever.
should take this photograph. They should take two of them. They should stack them.
You know
and
what?
they should raise a banner at Target Center for it.
It's fair. This is how I feel when you talk about your jerseys and shit, I guess. So fair enough. Anyways, whatever. The other thing. This is very random, but my TikTok For You page has just become like edits of random. Like, remember when Quincy Acey edits were like going around
Quincy
on Twitter?
Acey was a problem.
That's all my TikTok is, except it's like, here, I'll show you. I can't explain it without showing you. It's just like, here, one sec. So let's see. Let me find an example for you.
Is it like mixtape?
Oh yeah.
Is it?
I got a Michael Beasley one.
All right, pull it up.
I got a Michael Beasley hype mixtape video thing.
When did you know you were a walking bucket? January 9th, 1989.
I don't reason niggas even want to bust up. Get a nigga whack, I ain't got play tough. Used to be rich, but you fucked up.
You had to mute the music. You're afraid.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting done for copyright. You kidding me? I got some other like there were some fun ones too.
So it's just like a guy talking his shit and then it plays his highlights.
Not always. Like there's this one like with the Kendrick verse that came out.
Reincarnated.
Just,
Life goes on, honey, and her, my babies.
And it's just Tyrese Halliburton reincarnated. What was it? There's one other like random one I got. I tweeted about it. Oh. Is this it? No. I got a Matthew Dellavedova one. It was just J.R. Smith, like, he almost died guarding Steph Curry. Then it's just a highlight tape of fucking Matthew Dellavedova.
You find that will be excellent.
I'd
like to see
I gotta have it. Oh, come on. I'm
I wonder
sure
who
I
the
can.
funniest Celtics guy would be for that. I feel like a Jerebko one would be really funny.
Oh,
It's
there's
like
this one.
somebody talking about him, and he just has that monster put back to open Game 3 against the Hawks at TD Garden.
Here, this is Steph singing on stage and then going to his highlights. It's just sick. It's just kind of sick. I just like the edits, man. I'm really mad that I can't find this Matthew Dellavedova one. Doc, this isn't an edit. It's just Muggsy Bogues doing a TikTok.
That ass perfect, baby. Right away, get it over the turkey, baby. You know you doing that shit on purpose, baby. Wetter than some water, let me serve it, baby.
And I've never been more confident than I am now that they need to ban TikTok. They get that shit out of here, man.
Oh my fucking God,
rotten
dude.
brains.
That's so fucking good.
You got Muggsy Bogues dancing. Get that shit.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's a fun one. It doesn't include his Celtics ones, but I mean, you can't not love Kemba.
That's one of the reasons why I came on here.
Kemba's fire.
And yeah, man, I wanted to let everybody know that I'm retiring, man. It's over. Like, I'm done playing. It was a hell of a run. It was a run that I still can't kind of fathom today. Like I still can't like believe the things that I've done in my basketball career.
I found the Dellavedova edit.
There you go.
I got it.
I love Delly to death, but Delly almost died guarding Steph Curry. Literally almost died. We have footage of this man in the ice tub, like literally to his neck, trying to guard this man.
Are you an annoying player?
Am I an annoying player?
Yeah.
Well, I've never played against myself, so. I saw the ball, I dived on the floor. If I stay on my belly, it's going to be a jump ball. So I protect the ball and kick it out to a teammate. On the other one, I'm boxing him out. He's pulling my left arm down. I'm trying to stay up, and he's just pulling me down. So, I mean, the tape's there.
The best part about this is they haven't shown a single fucking highlight.
No, they're just getting into him chasing stuff around screens.
I mean, you do have to be like a special breed to do that.
I mean, he was a problem in the finals. This is like the. It's just fun, man. This is like, what are we doing here? Crazy shot, by the way. But those are the Delly highlights.
He walks so TJ McConnell could run.
It's true. It's true. You know, Matthew Dellavedova was in the league until the season before this past year.
Yeah, he was playing in Sacramento. He played for Milwaukee. Played for a couple different teams.
Crazy. All right. Reddit post of the day. What you got today?
Reddit post of the day comes from the NBA subreddit. If it would open it. Link copy to clipboard. Very helpful. Very, very helpful. Reddit. Son of a bitch. Comes from... I'm not going to read...
Dude, please
I'm not going to read the username.
I don't know what it is, but just don't. God.
Yeah, I'm not going to read it.
No, don't read it.
I just said I'm not going to read it.
No, I just saw it for the first time.
Oh.
That was my first experience reading it.
You get to rig a draft to favor your team. Which draft do you rig, and how different would the league be? The first pick will not change. An example, if you rig the 1989 draft for your team, you get Purvis Ellison, not Sean Kemp, Glenn Rice, or Tim Hardaway. The following year's drafting will not be affected, so it's kind of like the draft pick simply falls into your hands without having to sacrifice anything. From a Celtics perspective,
yeah,
this year, give me Cooper Flag.
Disagree, but I like the meme.
Cooper Flag.
Wemby, by far not close. A million years. You could ask me a million times. By far the easiest answer I'll ever answer in my life. You talk about a fucking Horford replacement. Are you kidding me? That fucking freak show. Imagine Wemby with Tatum, Brown, Derek White, and Drew Holiday. What the fuck are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
Let me think of some other good ones. Rigging the Zion draft would have been pretty crazy, considering going into that season, there was legitimate discussion, especially if we were doing the pod then.
Yeah.
Whether or not the Celtics were going to be able to get Zion because they had that fucking Kings pick. And the Kings just happened to decide to be the most competitive that they had been up to that point that season.
Happened with the Grizzlies. Grizzlies the next year too were magically good. Out of nowhere. Yeah, those could have been too much.
Well, it wasn't out of nowhere. They ended up with Ja, but
but
that would have been pretty sick to get Zion. Probably would have eaten a little bit more healthy if he was up here. I mean, it would have been cool if the Celtics got KG like before they had to trade for him. Like if they just had KG from the start, I think that would have been kind of nice.
Sure. Let me go deep. Let me go early 2000s. Like, could Pierce have gotten some help earlier?
Could have gotten some help.
Yao Ming, LeBron. Yeah, one of those early ones to get Pierce.
Dwight Howard
would have been cool. Dwight, yeah. The Yao Ming, LeBron, Dwight, like those few years in there would have been like much better for, excuse me, helping Pierce earlier on. If we can rig it in any way we choose, just jump us up 3 picks in the Jeff Green draft and get Kevin Durant instead. Like if it doesn't have to be the first pick, like if you could just jump up a few.
The oral
You know
history
what
of
I'm
that
saying?
is if one, they were supposed to have that.
Exactly.
But two, had they gotten it, we probably wouldn't have got the big 3. Because they would have elected to
Also
take
true.
the youth route and got rid of Pierce, which would ultimately suck in hindsight. Another
Giannis.
good one. 1997 Tim Duncan. Celtics were supposed to
Yeah.
get the top pick, and they got fucked. And it
Yeah.
was the ultimate, like, falling right off the blocks because Rick Pitino had joined in hopes of getting Tim Duncan, and he was probably soured from that point on. Just like, dude, what did I
Yep.
get myself into? Thought we were going to get Tim
Yeah.
Duncan. We didn't. And then it was just all downhill.
Yep. Yeah, Wemby for me though. If we're talking like right now, Wemby, dude. Wemby with this core,
change your life.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You think if they had Wemby, they would have like Bill Russell potential?
Like winning
like just having a crazy run like that?
Yeah, I think they could have won like 5 of 10 at the very least.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
It is a little bit more fun if like you take it in like the context of they actually had a chance to get this top pick and they got smoked instead. Like the Tim Duncan one is a lot of fun to think about. I suppose KD is fun, even though he wasn't the first pick.
Excuse me. Yeah, Giannis. Like if they were one further back or one spot forward or whatever it was, I forget exactly.
Let's see.
All right.
I'll quickly run through some of these. I'll go 2003 Spurs get LeBron. I don't see how this doesn't lead to the greatest dynasty since the 60s Celtics. I'd give the Sixers the first pick so they could get Tatum. Wait a minute. Yeah, and the next year I'd give the Suns the first pick so they could get Luka.
Wait a second. Yeah. I think the Suns get a little too much flack for that one. The Kings should be getting the shit on. Because, like, in their defense, DeAndre Ayton was always the pick. Local kid.
Number one, clear cut. Yes.
Marvin Bagley.
Fultz was too. We all thought that Fultz was going to be on the
it's
Celtics.
true.
Remember, he went to Chipotle with Danny Ainge.
It's true. Fultz is that guy. But it is funny that they traded back.
But he is commenting Suns, Luka.
Yeah. Suns, Luka, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. I get it. I get that.
They actually weren't.
Oh, Warriors taking Wiseman. Tough.
If he wasn't the first pick.
I know, but still.
Who would you pick instead? Halliburton?
LaMelo, Halliburton, a lot of guys. Let me see. Let me take a look exactly. Excuse me. LaMelo, Halliburton. I guess this draft class was pretty shit. Mike, this draft class sucks. wait, this draft class is awful. I didn't realize just how bad this draft class was. Halliburton, Edwards, Desmond Bane's another good one later. Maxey.
It's a real shame.
This is a really bad draft class.
Bane.
Halliburton, Edwards, Bane, Ball, Maxey, and then the next best is quickly.
Draft.
It's the Pritchard draft. This draft is really not good. It's just I'm like shocked at how bad this draft class could end up being. The 2021 draft class is going to end up being a little bit better. Jalen Green's maybe you regret the Jalen Green pick a little bit. I still think he's talented though, but like you take him over Mobley, Barnes, Suggs, Giddey, Kuminga, Wagner. You're getting a little shaky there. And then the Banchero, Chet Holmgren draft is, I think, pretty fine for now. Nobody's really stood out in that draft class, except for Jalen Williams at 12. Crazy. You know what the worst is? OKC got back-to-back picks. They picked Ousmane Dieng and Jalen Williams at 11, 12. You know who the Wizards picked at 10? Tell me.
Abdul.
No, he was here before. No.
They picked Johnny Davis.
Yeah. Over Jalen Williams.
Is he out of the league?
Not yet. Working on it. He's trying. He's trying his best. Anyways, let's go to the rat list here, Sam. What you got for me?
I'll go Rat list. Damn it. I really am not feeling that creative today.
I can start if you want.
Go ahead.
Rent. I had to pay rent for the first time 2
Oh,
days ago.
no.
Awful. First and last, too. So I had to pay double. Not good. Not fun. Also, packing. I have to pack everything the next couple days. It's not going to be fun at all. But, yeah. Rent is number one rat list. Not fun. Very not fun.
Man, I'm not looking forward to that when that day comes.
Yeah, rent's not a good time. Not good, not good, not good. But it's okay. I'm excited to move. It'll be fun. Sad to leave the house, but fun. Excited to be on my own. It'll be a good time.
Rat list, just the fucking day I had physically yesterday. I was exhausted by the time basketball wrapped up. I literally was like, I felt like I was in a prize fight by the end of basketball. Not because I was getting beat up. I was just so fatigued. I had a team of me, 3 of my like less than skilled basketball friends, and then
Name
like, this
drop.
other guy we play with. It was me, Ray, Joe, Frank, and then this other guy we play with. And
Do I
we
know?
won. We
Oh,
won
fuck
like
yeah.
3. Yeah. So like you can imagine how hard I was working. Not to say that they didn't play well. Joe made.
Who was
some
the other
big
guy?
shots.
Do I know him?
Ramon. Yeah.
Okay, Ramon. Yeah.
But it was a good performance from the fellas. I will tell you that because I was seeing 2,
who played
3
center?
guys.
Did Frank play center?
It was me.
Who guarded Worth? You?
Me.
Yikes!
I hit a game winner over Worth yesterday.
That rocks. That's fire. I like that a lot.
It was literally the Derrick Rose. I didn't bank it in, but it was like when he just ran across, and I caught the ball, dribbled. No,
okay.
It was just from the mid range, but I caught the ball, dribble once. I said, it was next point was I'm like, fuck this. I know that I am not going to get a better opportunity than this to put the ball up. And I don't like taking shots like that. Jack, you can attest. Like I actually hate shooting. I hate taking shots that I don't think are good shots. I'm probably too perfect when it comes to that. But yeah, we ended up winning. It was a lot of fun. It was probably the most fun I've had playing because I was like no expectations at all, and I was like, oh my god, like we're winning.
Hell yeah! It's like Isaiah Thomas Celtics.
Yes, it just worked. It's the power of friendship.
Yeah. Rat list. I know I said it once. I have just so much shit I have to pack, dude. Like I'm dreading getting this room together over the next day and a half. And also rat list all the shit, like the chores I have to do. So my family is moving like a month after me. Like they're going to a smaller place because like like Grace doesn't live here anymore. I don't live here anymore. What's the point of having a big house? Like they're gonna downsize a little bit, whatever. And so not only do I have to move, but I have to change all of my addresses everywhere because this isn't going to be even an option
that's brutal
anymore. So I'm going to change that. I have to change my car registration. And apparently I have like excise taxes that were sitting in an envelope on my stairs that I wasn't even aware was delivered here. So I owe money for that. I owe money for Easy Pass because I thought this was a fucking free country, but apparently we have to pay to drive. Losers, stupid fucking government. So I owe that. Car insurance, fucking phone bill, everything. I want to die. I'm not having a good time. This is not fun. Being an adult is not all it's cracked up to be. I'm not too pleased.
No, it's not.
I don't like it.
I was sharp, dude. When I was like 16, I was like, I actually never want to be an adult. Like I just kind of felt it
smart.
Coming. I was like, yeah, I really avoided it. But I was just like, like that sucks. Like, who wants to like grow up and actually have to do stuff? It's terrible.
Yeah, you're a smart guy. I'm not looking forward to this.
Rat list is I just my car. So on Saturday, at my friend's, we're watching college football and we're going to pick up food. So go out and we drive past my car. He's like, dude, your sticker's expired. I was like, oh fuck, my sticker is expired. They sent me a notice last month and I just completely forgot about it. I think it was like right before I went away or something like that.
Yep.
I still have some time to get an inspection. I will be fine. Bless up. But
when's your month?
It was July.
Okay. Mine's December, so I'm like,
yeah, but I have until the 14th. I'm chilling. I'm all right. But I was like terrified. I was like, fuck, like, I don't even want to drive home. I was like, I'm gonna get got. And then my brake light was on. I was out of brake fluid. Got that fixed up real quick. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh man, like I actually should just walk home. I don't even want to drive.
Really? Oh, I've driven with expired sticker all the time.
I did it. I drove home. I got home, but I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
like, I don't want to get pulled over. I was more afraid of just like trying to brake and then my car just keeps moving.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. I guess the brake sticker would be more scary. Anti-ratless, my mom, we went to Target the other day to get stuff for moving out, and she was like, you want some help? I was like, I don't like taking money from my mom. I was like, let me like pay you or Venmo you or something. She's like,
Dude, I robbed my mom at gunpoint.
But my mom was like, no, I got you. And so anti-ratless, bro, she like, I got a ton of stuff.
Very
I
nice.
got like comforter, I got like food, I got like some bowls. I forget. I got like some new clothes, a bunch of shit. I was pumped. I was very excited. So anti-ratless, shout out my mom. Love you, mom. Great, elite. I don't have anything else.
You got nothing else, huh? Nothing. No. Maybe something that a particular trophy is named after.
Are you
Certain
talking about college
difficulty on
football?
a video game.
Yeah, ratless college football. It's not fun. I'm not good enough, and so I got mad at the game before we started this.
So
I turned it off.
Jack and I planned to record today, and I hear from Jack. Jack goes, "What time do you want to record?" I'm like, "I'm gonna eat shortly, then I'll be down." He goes, "Cool. I'll play my game in our college football league in a minute." I said, "Nice. Go ahead and advance when you're finished." He goes, "Let's see." 16 minutes later, Jack texts me. He goes, "Let me know when you're done. I'm not playing that shit." I said, "Oh no, Heisman's not treating you well. I'll wait till you're not going to enter the call smiling like a prick because I'll leave. So let me know when you're done."
Because I knew after I told Sam I got mad, he was gonna come in here smiling, and I was gonna make me even more angry. So I said, we're not gonna start until you're not gonna smile.
Henry was getting fired up today.
Yeah. Can't do it, man. It's just I couldn't do anything. I ran a bunch of different plays or whatever. I would either just get sacked or nothing was open. So I put the controller down and started writing and watching YouTube. And I'm like, I can't do this right now. It's just gonna make me mad. I'm not gonna play. So I stopped playing. But that's all I got. I told the story last pod about how I got rear-ended, right?
Yes.
in Boston. Okay, yeah. And then I think I'm good then. This is the last full pod I'll record in this house. Because I'm gonna be in Boston on Wednesday, and we're gonna record. When are we recording Wednesday?
In the evening.
Evening, afternoon, late afternoon. Okay, that's fine. Like 5-ish
At night.
or like later,
At night.
nighttime.
Night is fine.
Okay, that's fine. I'll figure it out then. We'll see what happens. Anyways, appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and you want to comment, hit the bell. You don't want to miss any of our daily uploads. New stuff coming at you every morning at 5 a.m. Full pods. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps during the season, the morning after each game, and other videos to keep you in between. We're almost there, so subscribe. You want to be with us for the next ride. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. We're putting out all of our pods and recaps there for you that maybe just want to listen to audio. Oh, we got you covered. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that. Email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. RJ mentioned how he likes to email us. We would love to have you guys email us too. All you have to do is send us an email, hbtcpod@gmail.com, and we will read it on the pod. You can find our socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the pod. Streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's Money NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.